kind of want to talk about your drug addiction, if that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, do you want to tell me about when it started? Did it start when you were dealing or before that?
I think it started before that. So again, like obviously got into selling drugs at a young age, so I got into smoking at a young age. But everybody says like, oh, weed's the gateway drug, alcohol's the fucking gateway drug. Let's be fair.
I think if alcohol came out now, it'd probably be illegal, right?
Yeah,
I say that as I'm drinking
be.
fucking prosecco.
I mean, apart from sugar, it's the biggest fucking addictive killer. But so I got into like smoking weed, and I remember my old man my real dad had caught me smoking and was like, "You don't do that. That's a poor man's drug," and then got cocaine out.
So your own dad introduced you to cocaine?
Yeah, him and his friends used to fucking pile me with cocaine. And now I look back, and I've had therapy over it, obviously, but like they thought how they thought that was acceptable, I have no fucking idea. My dad gave me my first line of coke when I was 15. Took me whoring when I was 17.
What's whoring?
Took me to brothels.
Really?
Yeah, that was like we went to Poland for my birthday, and that was him coming in my life. Like, he'll flash some money for a bit. We'd do some things, and then I won't see him again, or we'll fall out. We don't speak now purely because I'm sober. Like he has a cocaine addiction himself. But yeah, so anyway, it developed into like having a cocaine addiction, and then being like functioning. Like I was a function addict, and
so
then
it was almost like drinking coffee. When I say drinking coffee, it's almost like it was part of your routine, kind of undetectable.
It's part of my identity, right? Because as on the sideline, I had a production company when I first started getting back into art again, and we did this project in Denmark through Vice magazine where I met Michael Olsen, he bought the first safe injection facilities in Denmark, in Copenhagen. I'm a quarter Danish as well. Not that I've never met that side of the family, but
I can see that.
Viking blood. You can kind of see it. But he had these safe injection facilities, and he set up this magazine called A Legal Magazine, which was unbiased stories on drugs. And I was like, that's fucking cool. I want to bring that to the UK. I want to bring that to London. And what we did is like we created a London edition. It was just unbiased stories and drugs to educate people. And I'd give it to homeless people, and they'll sell it on the streets. Really cool little design magazine. You can Google it. You'll find it. There was tons of articles on it. I got picked up by the BBC and did some interviews on it. But it was just unbiased stories and drugs. No good, no bad. It was just stories. And we gave it to homeless people, mainly drug users. And the whole idea was like it's an alternative then to buy their drugs by selling this magazine and buying drugs. So drugs became like an identity. And that got picked up by the guy who set up. Do you remember Bebo?
Yeah, I was on Bebo.
So the guy, him and his brother sold it to AOL for a fortune.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's a massive like decriminalization, weed decriminalization activist. And he set up a party called Sister, which is Cannabis is Safer Than Alcohol. He found my magazine, got me on board to run for Parliament, which I ran for Parliament in 2014.
You've lived so many lives, haven't you?
Yeah, but this was all along the side of it. So, and I've always been very much like the decriminalization of drugs, not the legalization. There's a difference, right? Because for me and like my brothers and that would survive on drug money. Like our mum would, Nan, everybody in our estate would survive on illegal money. That's how we got shopping. That's how we got, paid the gas. That's how we paid the electric. So I'm not into legalization as such, because you get rid of a whole black market and you crash a whole economy of working and lower class people if there's not available, right? So I was always into the criminalization. So that's when I led into like running for mayor. I tried running for mayor. There's a whole, you can Google Louis Jensen mayoral campaign and you'll see a YouTube video. I talk about macroeconomic objectives and how this can help society. So drugs was a huge identity for me. But then it just got to a point when I was just like abusing everything. Every day I would get up. There was one point I was in my studio in Bermondsey and I was sniffing lines and crying into the cocaine. I was crying because I was doing too much cocaine. The cocaine was washing away because I was crying into the cocaine, and then ordering more cocaine because I'm doing cocaine. It became like this vicious circle, and I just become super suicidal.
Do you still blame your dad for this? Do you resent him?
Yeah, I definitely resent him for a lot of things. For sure. My mum, not so much. My mum kicked me out at a young age, but she suffers from various different mental health issues or whatever, so I can kind of forgive her, and like we've come back full circle and I know how to keep my distance with her. It's fine. But like with my dad, he's just obviously, I've realised that he's just a narcissist and a sociopath in a way.